Hello folks, Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. Before I start this video and get into what this video is all about, I just want to make a simple comment. Probably won't be simple, right? Nothing simple with me. It took me a month to get 100 subscribers. I was grateful for that. I woke up this morning, looked at how many subscribers I have on my channel. I think the last 18 days I gathered up 215 subscribers. That's pretty cool to me. That's pretty awesome to me. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I'm not Casey Neistat. I'm not, what's that guy, Roman Atwood or whatever. He puts a video up. He gets 3 million hits in about 2 minutes. That's not what I do. I don't ask people to subscribe. I don't ask people to give thumbs up. I don't ask you to make comments. But all of you have been incredible to me. I appreciate it. I just wanted to let you know that it means the world to me. I have learned over 44 years on this planet, I did not get where I am today because I did it on my own. I did it because there were many, many people who helped me along the way. I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm filled with joy that I can do some simple little videos like this, right? They're never simple, I don't shut up. But I'm happy I'm helping some of you guys. You guys are saying some beautiful things to me. Some of you have reached out to me and said, hey, how do I put packages together? What do I need to buy? I'm going to get to all of you as soon as I can. I'm grateful. So many people helped me, and I want to help you. It's time to return the favor, right? After 44 years on this planet, time to do it. Here's the deal. I love to say that. Here's the deal. We're going to talk about removing vinyl pinstripe off vehicles. This happens to be my piece of junk truck. I shouldn't say that. This truck is good to me. Takes me to the dumps, does everything, right? But it's got vinyl stripes on it, and I want to remove it, and I want to remove it effectively. I want to remove it safely. Some of you professional detailers that are out there, you might be detailing vehicles, doing paint correction, doing all sorts of wonderful things. Maybe you're busy, maybe you're semi-busy, maybe you're not busy enough. I want you guys to start thinking outside the box. Does this have anything to do with auto detailing, removing pinstripes? My God, it has everything to do with it. There are very few auto detailing companies out there, especially here in Dallas. Yes, there's guys that remove vinyl graphics. Yes, there's guys that remove pinstripe, whether it's painted or vinyl, but I don't see a lot of auto detailing companies doing it. Why do I do it? I want to diversify. I want to spread my love, my knowledge, my wisdom to more and more people. I want more and more people to have availability to my skill set. So that's why I do it. This is it's not a scary process, but there's a lot of things to know. There's probably a lot of videos out there. I've seen them. There are some guys that are doing pinstripe removal, vinyl graphic removal, all sorts of stuff. Their videos are wonderful and great. I love watching them, but I've got some tips and tricks of my own, right? Why wouldn't I? I'm Scott. I'm filled with so many different opinions. Joke. But here we go. I want to remove this. What's the first thing I want to do? I want to wash it. Maybe you want to use like a rinseless wash or a waterless wash solution over this and wipe it up. That's fine. Get off the unbonded contaminants from the paint. The next thing I want to do is I want to clay bar it. Holy crap, Scott, you use that clay bar like it's going out of style. Why? Well, the tool I'm going to use to remove this pinstripe, I don't want any ferrous metals. I don't want any iron that could be potentially sticking in the paint around the area that I'm going to be using my tool on to remove the vinyl from the paint. If that ferrous metal, those metals get stuck in my little eraser wheel, you guys are probably familiar with it. That eraser wheel loves things getting stuck in it, getting embedded in it. It's like a little rubber tacky wheel. I don't want any of that stuff on it. In fact, my 3M eraser wheel that I use, after I'm done with it, I store it in a container that's completely, it's not airtight, but it stops debris from sticking on it, any types of metals that might get on it. I always want to clean before I go and remove vinyl, or remove vinyl lettering, vinyl wrap, however you want to do it. Here's another issue. If I'm just removing this vinyl pinstripe, it's pretty easy to remove. I say easy, you got to know some stuff and we'll get to it. But let's say this thing said Billy Bob's Towing. It was big vinyl letters on the side of this car. I can use the 3M eraser wheel, but I got some tricks for you. If I wanted to, I could take, as I make all this noise here, sorry, bear with me, I can take my steamer. Let's say this said Billy Bob's Towing on it. The company wanted the vinyl letters off. I'm going to prep the area by washing it with a waterless solution or a rinseless solution, whatever you want to do. I'm going to clay bar all around the letters, or all around the area that's not covered in vinyl. I'm going to take a steamer. I wouldn't necessarily use this head on it. I would use the pyramid head on it and wrap it with a microfiber towel if it was big letters on the truck. And I'm going to take my steamer and just work it slowly over the vinyl lettering. Why do I do this? Well, I have learned from my experience of removing vinyl that if you get the vinyl a little warm, a little hot, you got to remember this little McCulloch steamer I use only goes up to about 225 degrees. It's safe for the panel. It's not going to hurt the clear coat or the paint. But I want to soften up the adhesive behind it as well. So I'm going to steam when I'm removing big letters. Just a little tip and secret there. I steam it and then I wipe up any moisture that was there, and then I go in and start removing the vinyl lettering. So what I'm going to do on this one, I don't have to heat it up or anything like that. It's a small little vinyl stripe. It's easy to remove. I have in my hand, this happens to be a cordless drill made by Ryobi, I guess that's how you say it, and I got my 3M eraser wheel on it. I want to go in here and remove this vinyl. This thing happens to be spinning clockwise when I squeeze the trigger. This is an interesting point, something I want you guys to know. When you're removing vinyl with the 3M eraser wheel, you're going to get debris that starts to shoot out of the back of the wheel, however you want to look at it, but it's going to shoot debris in one direction. It's going to so happen because I'm holding it this way and I turn this trigger, it happens to be spinning. If I'm looking at it this way, it's spinning clockwise. It's going to shoot the debris to my left. Where do I want to start? I don't want to start over here if the debris is shooting to the left, because what's going to happen, I'm going to work into my own debris field. Don't do that. It's a pain in the butt. This thing is not only shooting the vinyl out, it's also shooting out some of the adhesive below it. So you want to stay away from your debris field and clean that up later after you're done. So it would look like this. I already know when I turn this thing, it's going to shoot the debris to my left. So I'm going to start at my left and work to my right. Here we go. Now what happens, if you guys can notice, I shot all that debris to my left. It's sitting on the panel. That's fine, don't freak out. The 3M eraser wheel will scare you. In fact, when I use this in front of a customer, I feel like they're going to put their hands around my throat and say, get out of my driveway. You don't know what the heck you're doing. You're going to scratch the heck out of my paint. I don't know what this stuff is made out of. Thank you 3M for creating the greatest thing on the planet. This thing, I say it doesn't scratch paint. Anything, folks, can scratch paint. If you sit in this area way too long and just go back and forth in one area, you'll eventually scratch paint. You got to use common sense. Kind of work, watch and verify as you're cleaning up that vinyl. Make sure you're shooting it out, you're getting it out. And if you are, just keep on moving and just use common sense. Don't sit in one area. 3M advises not to go over 4,000 RPMs with this. Holy crap. I can't imagine using this on a drill that was capable of doing 4,000 RPMs. It's just overkill. I wouldn't want to do it. But anyway, I've got this stuff here. This is my next little secret. I have this debris, this residue, parts of the vinyl. I can take a microfiber towel, right, and just wipe that stuff off. That's cool. I also have some adhesive, because here's the deal. The 3M wheel will remove the vinyl. It will remove some of the adhesive, but you're going to get some residue left behind. You're not going to get all of the glue, residue, and adhesive off the panel. There's guys out there using a chemical called Rapid Remover. I like Rapid Remover. Rapid Remover is great. I own 2 gallons of this stuff. It just so happens to be, what, $50 or $60 a gallon. That doesn't mean I stay away from it. I want it. It's great for so many different areas. But I found another chemical that works real well with removing some of the adhesive. It's called CITROL. It's a orange degreaser. It's like an industrial orange degreaser. I wish I had the gallon jug it came in because I could show it to you. But it's called CITROL. I'll try to find a link for it. I'll put it below my description box. Again, I'm not an affiliate. I'm just going to put it there so you guys can find it. CITROL is like Goo Gone on steroids. It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger of Goo Gone. Goo Gone is a waste of time. If you think you're going to remove that adhesive residue or glue after you remove the vinyl with Goo Gone, you're going to be here too long. You're going to be rubbing back and forth too much with a microfiber towel. You're going to abrade the paint. Get to the point, right? Let's get it over with. Rapid Remover is great, but CITROL, I can use it straight. What's great about CITROL, what you cannot do with Rapid Remover, there's two things that are great about it versus Rapid Remover. CITROL is dilutable. You can dilute it 1 to 10, 10 parts water, 1 part product if you wanted to, 5 to 1, or you can use it straight. Typically, if I'm removing huge big lettering off the truck, I'll use it straight. There's a lot more residue I have to be concerned with. But on this panel, it's not a big deal. I have some of the CITROL diluted. I think this is like 3 to 1, 3 parts water, 1 part product in this Simple Green bottle. Why do I have it in there? I don't know. I like Simple Green. It's cool. I use it in the house. So I'm going to go in here and remove that residue. Sometimes what I can do is I can spray it right on the panel if I want. Just, why is this a little goopy, right? I can put it on the panel, wipe it with my finger, kind of get it to go ahead and start dwelling, start breaking down some of that residue, and then I'll put some on my microfiber towel. Get it soupy. And then I'm going to go in here and just simply start picking up that residue. I'm pushing lightly, starting to come up, not a big issue. Why do I like CITROL over Rapid Remover? Because it's cheaper. Rapid Remover is like $50 a gallon. CITROL is $35 a gallon. You know where I get it? I get it at Napa. Sometimes Napa carries it. They carry it in the gallon size. I love this stuff. It's safe on clear coat. It's not going to damage clear coat. It's great on really bad heavy stains in the engine compartment or something like that, or even on carpet. It works really well. I've got a little bit more residue than I wanted to. I'm talking too much. I probably could have paid attention a little bit more, but I'm trying to make a video, right? So I'm going to go in here and just keep working lightly over the residue that the 3M eraser wheel did not remove. Again, you can use Rapid Remover. I'm telling you guys, CITROL is amazing stuff. I've removed paint. Like I had a customer of mine that had a white Silverado truck like this, but much newer. He hit a can of spray paint. It was red. He had a white truck. When he hit it with his front tire, all the paint was all over the side of the car. I could have taken a clay bar to get it off, right? But that's sometimes removing overspray like that is a little aggressive with a clay bar. You got to work it too long. You might abrade the paint. I took that CITROL completely straight, not diluted, dipped it into my microfiber towel, and I removed that spray paint off that car with being as little. I wasn't aggressive. It just took it off. This CITROL stuff to me is amazing. I love it. I use it in so many different areas. Again, I'll try to leave it in a link for you. But here you go. That's completely removed the residue. I didn't have to spend $50 a gallon. I saved myself some money. I used CITROL. That's like $39 a gallon. I think that's diluted 3 to 1, 3 parts water, 1 part product. And I was able to remove the residue. Compared to Rapid Remover is like a level 10. This is like an 8.5 and completely appropriate. I can save myself a little bit of money. I'm not going to have a tremendous amount of residue here like if I was trying to remove letters, big letters off the truck. This is great. I want you guys to look into it. It's a great product. It's made by Schaeffer's Oil, I think is the name of the company, and the chemical called CITROL. But there you go. When I removed all that pinstriping, I've got no residue left behind. Here's another issue you guys want to look into. If a customer calls you out and wants you to remove vinyl stripe, that's cool, right? You're going to make some extra money. There's a couple little things you want to do. Typically, vinyl is found, if it's a pinstripe like this, it's found on older vehicles. I don't think OEM manufacturers now are using a lot of vinyl. Some of them are, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. But one of the things I want you to do before you start using the 3M eraser wheel, before you start doing what I did, you want to touch the clear coat around the vinyl striping. Why do I want to do that? Sometimes the car can be rather old and the customer wants the vinyl off. You want to make sure the clear coat is intact. If it feels a little squishy, like you can feel it, like it almost feels like plastic wrapper, you can kind of hear it got crunchy under your fingers, don't do it. Don't use the 3M eraser wheel because you'll blow the clear coat right off. You'll pull it right off. Here's another point. I had a customer had owned a 2007 Nissan Maxima. mid-2000. They had vinyl striping on it. They wanted it off. It started to peel and crack. So I said, great, beautiful. Thank you so much for calling me. I went out to their home. I saw the vinyl stripe, right? This happens sometimes, and that's why I want to bring it up. This is odd, weird, crappy stuff. But I looked at the Nissan and I said, man, I can get this off. This is going to be nothing. And use my 3M eraser wheel, use CITROL. I'm going to compound and polish afterwards. I started to notice as I removed the vinyl, you know what I found underneath the vinyl? I actually found painted pinstripe below it. It was driving me nuts when it first happened to me. I'm using my 3M eraser wheel, right? And I'm removing that vinyl striping, and all of a sudden I'm just exposing painted vinyl stripe behind it. It kind of blew my mind. I'm like, what happened? My 3M eraser wheel just decided to give up the ghost. It doesn't work anymore. The reason why I bring this point up is some cars, I find it in the mid-2000s, typically with Nissan, typically with Toyota. You know when you buy a car and they have that new car prep money they're making you spend? They're removing the protective film from the manufacturer. When it gets to the dealer, they're charging you to remove all that stuff. Maybe removing the plastic bags that are on the seats. Well, guess what? Some manufacturers put a vinyl protectant over the pinstripe that's actually painted in the car, and they put it over it. Some dealers don't see it. Some dealers don't know they need to remove it. And that customer left it on his car for years and years and years. It got hot. It started to bake to the clear coat. He wanted it off. I started to remove it, and guess what I exposed? Absolutely beautiful pinstripe that was painted on the vehicle. The customer was like, I had to go in the house and say, I can remove the vinyl, but I'm bringing something to the surface here. Are you happy with that? He was ecstatic. That looks great. That looks wonderful. Better than that crappy protective vinyl they put over the stripe that the dealer should have taken off. These are little wacky things I come into, so I wanted to tell you about it. Now, when I remove this vinyl, right, I clean the surface, I clayed the surface, I take my 3M eraser wheel, I remove the vinyl, some of the glue. I'm going to have some residue left over. I'm going to hit it with my CITROL. You want to use rapid remover, that's fine. I'm just trying to help you guys save a little bit of money. Now what's going to happen, depending on how old the vehicle is, the sun has been baking this area of the paint, right? It's not... The paint underneath this vinyl might be a little, what we call, some guys call it ghosting, whatever the case may be. You may notice that you see a little hint or a ghosting effect that's happening below the vinyl. You can compound it and polish it out. I'm not going to kill you with that. Most of you guys know how to do that. But you can compound and polish it out. But here's something else that can happen, and it's less than 5%. The vinyl that's on the vehicle, and it's glued with some type of glue. I don't know what type of glue it is. I don't know what manufacturer it is. It could be different types of manufacturers. The longer the stripe is on the car, that glue can actually start to penetrate into the clear coat, and you'll have like a little faint yellow looking area. On white paint, you'll see it a lot. You'll see it looks a little bit yellow, and you'll say to yourself, hey, when I compound and polish it, I'll get it out. Not always. The longer that vinyl stripe has been on there with that glue behind it, that glue actually penetrates through the clear coat and actually stains it all the way through it. You can try wet sanding it. I've done it before in the past, taken 1500 grit and slowly backed out to 3000 and then polished. It won't go away. So you gotta know a couple of these things when you're talking to your customer. Let them know there's a 5% chance or less, somewhere around there. It's what I see in my world, that the clear coat can actually stain. The best point I can make to you is that the best way to do this is to do it early. When you buy a new car, you want it off, try to get it done within the first year or two. Don't let it stay on there. It's much easier to remove. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with vinyl removal, a 3M eraser wheel. You can buy these on Amazon, 35 bucks. You know where I bought this one? And I buy it all the time because I like spending my money local. I go to my local Napa dealer. They have them hanging on the rack. They're always available, 2 or 3 of them. Heck, sometimes I take all 3 of them when I go there and I buy them. I'm paying about $10 more, but that's okay with me because I like spending. I'm a local business myself, so I want to help a local business as well. So I pay like $44 for it. But if you guys didn't know it, Napa has these things. Certain Napas you can find it, and it's right hanging there on the counter. You can get it right away, or order it on Amazon. It's like 35 bucks, I think. This thing will blow your mind. Again, store it carefully. Don't let anything get stuck in it. Remove any ferrous metals off the vinyl or off the paint before you go using the wheel. I don't want any of those metals getting stuck on you guys on the wheel. That's a simple little video. Nothing simple, right? 19 minutes, somewhere around there. but I wanted to show you how you guys can do it, some of the tips and tricks. The CITROL that I buy, I'll try to leave a link for it. Great adhesive remover. It's not as great as rapid remover, but when you're removing small glue adhesive or anything like that, it's cheaper, it's dilutable, it will get you where you need to go. It's awesome. I love it. I'll leave a link for you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my subscribers. You're blowing my minds. I don't ask people to subscribe. That's up to you. That's not the way I work. I'm so happy I can be in service to you guys. I'm learning from you guys as well. I get stuff in return. It's beautiful. Thank you very much. I love you all. Be careful today. Be safe. And until next time. Until next time what, Scott? I don't know. I lost my mind. I can't think now. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a great one.